How's it going, everybody? Jack here with another video, and let me start this by putting a smile on your face. This right here is the Stop Killing Game initiative. Yes, we made it. I can pretty much say that we made it because we are 99% completed. And I must admit that I should be putting the cynical glasses on right now, because none of this might not have happened if Ross did not decide to bring pirate software to the forefront and expose his bad attitude.
All of this can eat shit then. I dropped the mask entirely. I have no qualms about that. They can eat my entire ass. The whole thing.
Now, while this video is likely going to have a lot of focus on the man, it is important that we note something. The Stop Killing Game initiative is about consumer rights. Like, we've seen the likes of Louis Rossmann, whose example I actually brought nearly a year ago when we first talked about this, and how he's been on a mission to fix rights to repair. It's about establishing the meaning of ownership. Yours and my rights to be informed. Like, yeah, video games tend to downplay the deal-breaking part, which is they never know whether or not they're going to be successful or not. And thus, unlike this beautiful nectar of joy that is Arizona that stays at the same price even during inflation, we can't exactly always pinpoint an expiration date, but there should be plans for what to do when that time comes. Plans that don't result in the termination of the bought product. Additionally, it's also about making the real definition of the digital part of ownership. And yes, again, I know that the digital world has been moving a lot faster than IRL law could ever follow. Just look at what AI has been doing for the last 3 years, and with a big beautiful bill removing the guardrails for what is going to prevent them from going absolutely nuclear, we're pretty much boned. Things might get very bad. This is why this very conversation needs to happen. There should be regulations that prevent sellers from blaming it all on something like, let's say, licensing, in the way that Unity did some times back, if you remember, when we all got mad at Emperor Palpatine and even devs themselves decided to piss the fuck out as the company was turning deal-making with them into straight-up just lollygagging. And lastly, of course, this is also about creating an even playing field. For the buyers, let's not use the word consumer here, and the sellers. Yes, this very much is also in favor for developers. At least, we can make it be so. Like, understand that if we strong-arm those who are selling us the product constantly, trust me, unlike what, let's say, anti-woke grifters have a tendency of saying that, oh, they should just always bow to the demands of the gamers. That's not what's gonna happen. We will not experience capitulation to insane demands, but instead, what we'll get will be nothing. Likewise, if the product that's being sold to us comes with far too many inconveniences, buyers will not want to deal with them. It's a power play. And contrary to the weird understanding of certain devs that we're going to be talking about today, no one should be having an upper hand over the other. And that is why we once again need this initiative going on, because we need a referee. The government becomes that referee by creating laws not meant to keep games alive, nor to prevent them from dying, but to stop killing them. And lastly, as we get into the reaction, I want people to understand that even when we get past these 1 million signatures and the 100k from the UK, which we're likely going to be doing tomorrow, we can't stop there. We need to be active when the next thing comes. This is not me asking you to be part of some revolution or participate in political activism. I'm a millennial, okay? Be it a late one, was born in 95, I'm still a millennial. And thus I am perpetually plagued by the lack of care, by apathy, and the desire to not give a shit. But understand that this initiative is like grassroots, bare-bone, minimum preventative measures that we need to have in place. Very much like we had the discussions about refunds, game access, and much more. We need to have this set, and this is actually a time for you to make a difference. Now, with Dr. Martin Lifting King done with his speech of I have a dream of digital ownership, let's jump into the fun part, because as I've stated in the past, I reserved my opinion with regards to pirate software, in that I was trying to have a measured take, like everybody should, like he should with regards to this thing. But as we found out last time, he was deliberately being antagonistic to this thing, as he's misconstrued it just about everything that this initiative had to offer, went even out of his way to be malicious about it and just was very much in bad faith. Now, I will not stoop down to his level and start insulting his takes, not completely, but what I am interested in doing though is diving deeper and kind of understanding some of the vile stuff that he has done in the past, because in the last couple of weeks, the things that I've learned truly have ruined my perception of him, and thus we have a video here by a friend of the channel, the Act Man, who is going to tell us more about Thor. Jason, his name is Jason, just like how my name is actually Jacques. Are you surprised? I'm a French speaker, that is my birth name. Apparently, children when I first came to Denmark were unable to pronounce the name Jacques, and thus I just told them to speak the English one, which inevitably was also the language that spoke to them, at least for those who could understand. But enough about me and more about what Gordon Freeman's take is about this thing.
Hi there, I'm a soulless corporate CEO, and today I'm taking a break from one of my favorite hobbies, devouring the blood of infants. And I'm here to ask a question. Is a gamer not entitled to the contents of this disc?
No.
Do you like owning things? Are you proud of the time you spend working for a paycheck to be able to afford basic comforts like entertainment? Well, that's too bad, because I'm here to steal all of that from you. You will own nothing and be happy. Yes, this includes your precious video games. We're gonna keep killing them, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it.
Psych!
Soldiers, get set for a combat drop, okay? New major order just came in from command. Our mission is to stop killing games.
You fucked up my face.
This is part of the Stop Killing Games
That's
initiative, and just in the last 3 days, this initiative has gained over 100,000 new signatures.
Are we blind? Deploy the garrison!
And its entire goal is game preservation.
Well,
now, we
it's
have
almost
until
done
July
there.
31st to get all of these signatures, and I think we can get it done. Stop Killing Video Games is an initiative as straightforward as those 4 words.
As a refresher, Stop Killing Games is a consumer movement to stop publishers from effectively destroying video games they have already sold to customers.
This movement was started by a channel called Accursed Farms and a creator who goes by Ross. He has been hard at work promoting something that benefits all of us. If you buy games, play them, or even if you do neither, and you only watch someone stream games, this affects you. But now is the time for any passionate gamer to throw their full support behind this. He recently posted an hour-long video detailing basically the start and the end of the entire movement. It's a really good watch. I'll have it linked in the description and pinned comment, but I'll let Ross sum up.
The quick legal argument is that the vast majority of games with an online requirement say they can be terminated at any time for any reason. Or Blizzard likes to say any or no reason. That might be a violation of Directive 9313 EEC, which protects consumers against unfair terms in consumer contracts. So if that term is unfair, that means that part of the contract is null and void. And if it's null and void, then what does the law say about how long your purchase lasts? Well, it doesn't. That's the whole mess.
That's
What
the
a
thing.
horrible, evil man. Can you believe the nerve of this guy wanting to save all of us some money? Has this guy even considered the various multi-billion-dollar corporations? We're lucky enough to just be able to buy their products, don't you see?
Boy.
And they should be allowed the freedom to destroy our products whenever they want for any reason at any time.
The worst part is, of course, when the game isn't even optimized and it isn't even in a functional state. You cannot do that, Ubisoft. It's a... boy. I always say this about Ubisoft because it's so infuriating. The more I look back, the more there are good things about the games that have so much potential. Some of the most hated ones are being polished by the modding community, from Unity to Watch Dogs. Have you played Watch Dogs 1 in 2025? That game is banging. It's so fucking awesome. But it took the work of so many people to get it there. And so like I look at Ubisoft game, I see conceptually and even to a certain degree the execution working properly. But if they could just spend that time in polish, then perhaps they could justify some of their horrendous pricing. But no, what they end up doing is just asking people to spend more money for things that they inevitably will not own.
Can take away your purchase for no reason. Our problem is those terms are so hostile to consumers and the medium that they should be taken off the table entirely.
And I need to point out a thing specifically about The Crew, which was that the game was delisted, when was it? In December 2023, right? Like the 14th or something like that. So people had a bit of a 3-month period who still owned the game to play it. And within that 3-month period, you could still buy it. It was delisted, yeah, but you could get access codes elsewhere and still buy the game. So you could only play that game for 3 months. For which they were aware, of course, of the licensing of it, that it was going to shut down, so they could have announced it way earlier. So that's again that thing about the communication that I talked about in the start of the video, that it's important to know. And when companies especially are making deals like licensing, they know when the license is going to run out.
It is something so uncontroversial, normal. It's surprising how few people are open critics of this movement. But there is at least one.
Oh shit, no, this is actually really dumb. It's used car salesman garbage. This is shit. It's shit.
But like the creator of Stop Killing Games, I don't want this video to just be a drama video, especially when something much more important is at stake. Just be patient. We'll be pirating some software soon. But before we get into that, all you need is One Punch Man, a series that just collabed with the sponsor of today's video.
I got to see that during
a Magic Punk MMO ARPG.
the Summer Games
Embark
Fest.
on the path of a hero. During this limited time event, which runs until July 26th, you can download and play Crystal of Atlan for free on iOS, Google Play, PC, and PS5. And now's the time to play because you'll earn some exclusive One Punch Man themed rewards. And if you become a
nice
Class
art.
S hero after you've done 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and a 10-kilometer run,
Hey, squats. 100 squats.
Like,
Train your legs, people. Train your legs.
you can even team up with Tornado or get a mount, Genos' Sky Knight. What do you think of that, Genos? I'd say it
Wow.
looks pretty fire.
Incinerate!
Download and play Crystal of Atlan for free using the links below. And thank you, Crystal of Atlan, for sponsoring this video.
And now for something completely different.
What this really is a battle for consumer rights. Do you consume? Do you love consuming? Obviously, this is one of the least controversial things that has ever happened in the worldwide gaming community. And I truly mean that. You could not come up with a more inoffensive movement if you tried. Let's see if we can try. Are you in favor of the Stop Slaughtering Baby Seals with Machetes movement? Are you against that?
This is shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to.
And I encourage everyone who lives in the UK and is watching this to sign the initiative. That will also be linked down below. Let's get it done. Looking at you, France and Germany.
This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill.
well, at least he could do what a vast majority of Americans were unable to do. Name actual European countries and not just say,
Oh my fucking god, is the whole thing Sweden? Your training is fight. Put together, troopers. We're still in this.
I must commend and congratulate Ross. Getting over 600,000 people to click a document and sign it is no easy feat. Least of all, getting 600,000 gamers to agree on something. The last time that many gamers agreed on anything, it became the most downvoted Reddit comment of all time. So Ross, I think you are well within your right to enjoy this moment of pride and accomplishment. The reason this initiative is being pushed forward in the European Union is so it can open negotiations for companies to become legally obligated to preserve their games in some way, or at the very least, allowing customers, consumers to preserve the games. The point is, this movement is very pro-publisher. It leaves that choice up to the publisher. They have multiple options. It's really such a convincing argument, even if you are on the side of like game publisher, corporate executive type guy. As seen with The Crew, publishers like Ubisoft are fine with abruptly shutting down their games, eliminating all online
That's a
functionality,
good
and
game.
offering no recourse for people who want to play that game, maybe now, maybe somewhere down the line, and then offering no recourse for the player.
Is this good for the player?
And here's the
Which is so odd because the crew had single player components. It's like, make the comparison of, let's say, a good popular title. Actually, let's take two. One that is just straight up live service, Helldivers, and the other one, let's say, Call of Duty. If Call of Duty is put in this picture, you will still have the ability to play the single player campaign, go slaughter some zombies, do whatever you have. And if the modding community wants to gather behind it and pull a, let's say, a Just Cause 2, 3, or be it 4, right? We can also turn that into multiplayer. Do that. Include once again the multiplayer component that was originally not present or was taken away from the game. Helldivers 2 will be a completely different question, and for that reason there might be a different recourse to take. Which one it might be, we don't know. But the thought is not to force the people at Arrowhead to keep the game alive in the state that it was when people purchased it. That has never been stated.
phrase that really scares corporations, okay? Make sure you don't repeat this anywhere, okay? It's very offensive, all right? If buying isn't owning, piracy isn't stealing. It's important to note that Stop Killing Games is not retroactive. It is not unreasonable. It would not force every developer to turn on the servers for every dead game and keep them running indefinitely. Who's gonna do that for our boy Concord? Is the team that made MAG... Do I have MAG? I fucking do. Is the team that made MAG gonna have a high school reunion? This might actually be like a completely dead game. Is this playable in any way? Let me know in the comments. PlayStation Move? What the fuck? And you could make a whole ass video on why video game preservation is important. But let me just give you a personal example. There's a game called Command & Conquer Renegade, which, as far as I'm aware, nothing even comes close to its concept. It mixes RTS mechanics with first and third person shooter fundamentals. It would have been an utter tragedy if, when the GameSpy servers shut down, the game went with it. And here's where things are getting weird, because now I'm gonna give EA some props too. In a rare example of EA doing something good, they have allowed a team of passionate fans to resurrect Command & Conquer Renegade with their own free-to-play mod, Renegade X. You know, video games are a great escape for people, and there's something comforting knowing that one day, you know, you can go back and play something that you did years ago. Game preservation is important. And
like, you would have seen, if you've checked my reactions to the Summer Games Fest events, every single time that they brought up like a collector's edition of an old game, Mortal Kombat was one. We got Final Fantasy Tactics, like Resident Evil. When those things are brought back, I'm like, holy shit, I did not have access to these things. Like, how did you do that? Recently, okay, I played Fear for the very first time in my life. I spent 11 hours playing Fear, and this version isn't even good enough. I had to get another one from GOG to be able to have full access to some of the content that were missing and make sure that the game wasn't bugging all the time. And now I'm going to be playing through Fear 2 and 3 and also Trepang to understand what the entire hype is about that. Both preserving like a cultural thing that had such a huge impact in gaming and so much more. Monolith was well known for that. It's not just Shadow of Mordor. They kickstarted this. Like, if movies and books can do it, why can't we do it with games as well?
it's not just for random niche games.
Here's a list of some popular games that are all at risk of being destroyed at some time in the future. The Stop Killing Games movement sees any of these being destroyed as a problem, and they're exactly the kinds of games that would start being protected if the initiative passed.
There's no way to be against the Stop Killing Games movement in a way that is pro-consumer or pro gamer.
No.
And if it ain't pro gamer, then I'm a big hater. Stop Killing Games was stuck around 400,000 signatures for months, and it seemed all hope was lost.
Oh,
Who
no.
deserves credit for this sudden resurgence? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about Mr. Software. Now, unfortunately, Ross
Pirate
had done
himself.
just about everything he could think of to push to get those 1 million signatures. And this guy is one hell of a diplomat. Very nice demeanor, passionate about games, doesn't really show any malice, hatred, contempt towards publishers or anyone. In fact, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone that could actively dislike a guy like Ross, let alone publicly.
Okay, I really don't want to do this next part, but it's become a liability for the campaign for me not to. Our biggest critic by far is YouTuber and streamer Pirate Software. If your only exposure to Stop Killing Games has been this video, then you've been misinformed. This video is by someone who does not understand the campaign, has been trying to stop it, and has been making up what it is about.
Let's get scurvy, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get scurvy.
Yar,
Pirate
yar.
Software has been
can't,
the
I have a
most
cowboy
vocal,
hat.
outspoken critic of the Stop Killing Games movement. Not only that, he has stated that he is actively seeking to convince people not to sign the initiative.
This is shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to. That is awful. That is horrible.
Pirate Software has carefully crafted this persona of being a deep-voiced pro-gamer, pro-hacker, former developer, the everyday Cyberman. But most recently, some cracks have started
Jesus
to emerge.
Christ. JC, sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Most notoriously being his epic roach out in a hardcore WoW classic clip. In this heartbreaking moment, Pirate Software abandons his team, his sense of duty, and roaches out. Every man for himself, intentionally sabotaging his own efforts to assist his team by wasting mana on max level spells, not utilizing his toolkit. He fucked up.
In all fairness, okay? This is truly classic WoW behavior. I'm gonna give it to him. He truly channels the energy of a classic WoW player. That toxic behavior, that's it. But while I say, perhaps exclusively to me, I can understand a behavior like that, one thing is to act like that once, another thing is to continuing acting like that. Being mad at other people who act that way,
God damn it, guys. So one of you hold the ocular. Why?
blaming them for failing in raid encounters.
Now half the raid is dead.
Oh, I swear to God, I'm gonna go back in the video and find out who pulled that damn thing and kick him out of the raid. That is insane shit.
When you are to blame.
I'm not at fault there. I'm correct there for doing that. 100%. That is not on me.
Misplay. That's okay. It happens. Just say you're sorry, admit you fucked up, and help them grind back up the ladder. This is when the masks started to fall for people. My personal favorite quote from this:
Do you see my mana? What am I supposed to do for you?
if you were writing a narcissistic character, this is the perfect
Wow.
catchphrase.
Do you see my mana? What am I supposed to do for you?
They animated that?
Help me!
What am I supposed to do for you?
Hey Dad, can you pass the salt? What am I supposed to do for you? So this kind of turned him into a lolcow because he made obvious mistakes and then pretended like he didn't. It's kind of weird, dude. But then it started to get weirder. You see, Pirate had been up to some other shenanigans, including filing a DMCA takedown on an indie game that he thought used his voice and likeness. It's
Wait. Oh, no. No. Is this one of those situations where he has a friend of a friend of a friend who get involved in it, threaten people with legal actions, and then has to back away from it because actual lawyers got involved? This has happened before. I can't... I have it to the tip of my tongue. Other cases when this has applied before on YouTube. I cannot picture who it is who did something similar to this, but no. No.
Fucking meme game called Idle Streaming Bonanza. It's a game that includes many streamers and basically just pokes fun at all of them. The thing of it is, there was no active build of the game with Pirate Software's voice. So when he filed a DMCA, he filed it maliciously and incorrectly.
Doesn't? I'm pretty certain they already do. Steam, this is a Steam game, explicitly states that if you are going to file something, make fucking damn sure that you read through everything. It's like, I got hacked not too long ago. And it took the effort of actually the Act Man here. I gotta thank the man for actually reaching out to YouTube and others who tried to help me to get my channel back. And people on my Discord were joking that if that had been my Steam account instead that had been hacked, Steam would have reached out pretty freaking quickly to get it back. Because Steam doesn't fuck around. So him filing a fake claim is, oh boy.
The first time we've dealt with someone who did that. Luckily, the act attorney is on vacation. Pirate was completely in the wrong, and I think it says something about a guy whose first reaction to learning his voice has been used in a video game that is essentially just a shitpost is to immediately try and take it down. Like, who does that?
We're going to take you to court. You're going to lose. You cannot use somebody's likeness or voice in any way inside of your games without their permission. Welcome to the Finding Out timeline, bud.
What am I supposed to do for you?
We're all on the internet. We all get made fun of on here.
As much as you're angry right now, of course I ran.
Oh my god. Okay, listen. If you get turned into one of Asmongold's acolytes, okay, the things that roam his realm, Papa Nurgle's least favorite. Papa Nurgle's favorite insect, the roach, then I guess you made it. Jesus.
Yeah, no, he was doing it maliciously and using my voice. Gloated about it all over Reddit.
And this post
he learned about it all over Reddit. So he learned it from a Reddit post. And instead of actually reaching out to the guy, having a conversation being like, hey, I heard about this, I just want to confirm, is my likeness actually being used in your video game? If so, please do take it down. Just like anybody who have reached out to me when I made a reaction video or did not want me to actually react to it or whatever it was. Whenever I ask, if they give me a no, I don't do it. That's how you behave. It's not that hard, Jason. Jason!
Guess how many upvotes? 27. What the creator of this game had done is just posted a clip on Reddit of what it would be like if Pirate Software was in the game.
And the only reason I'm fighting this is because he's removing my game from Steam when he's not on it. That's the issue I have with it. All the other issues I'm fine with.
Like, Pirate Software didn't even bother to check that he was actually in the game, or, I don't know, respond to this post and say, hey, can we talk? Can you take that out? Like, he just went hard straight to DMCA.
He put it up on Steam and showed that my voice was going to be in it, and that's it.
But ever since that WoW clip, people have been going back and uncovering some things. Now, Ross, in his video, highlights every YouTuber and gaming news outlet that has covered Stop Killing Games, and he determined that Pirate Software's coverage was the most viewed. And it was 2 videos full of lies, just blatant misrepresentation of the movement and its goals, even going so far as to say the complete opposite of what was literally on his screen.
If you try to tell me that every studio needs to run their live service game indefinitely or not want to run one at all, then no one's going to run them.
Oh no! He wheeled out that line about publishers having
Nobody
to support
said
the
that.
game forever. He was literally watching the video earlier where it says it won't do that in big letters. That wasn't enough. We just can't stop gamers from going there, even when we spell it out. I admit, guys, this part hurts. To see the biggest voice on this issue get it wrong again and again and again, then put that same wrong information on blast to a far bigger audience than we can reach.
And mind you, for my last video covering this, I actually went and watched the stream that he made about this. These videos were edited. He went through that. Saw what he displayed on screen. Yo, bruv, that's deranged.
It hurts.
Watch this, Lise. You can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand what we're asking for.
Look, it's one thing to disagree with a movement for whatever reason. It's
But you
okay to
can.
ask questions and seek clarification to make sure you should throw your support behind this thing, right? Thankfully, Ross has done such a thorough job that any and all questions any reasonable people have, he has answered. Not only has Pirate taken a firm stance against stop killing games, he has said he will actively try to make sure it doesn't succeed. This is generational hating.
Eat my entire ass. This shit sucks. That's a really stupid ass move. That's an incredibly stupid ass move. I think this is ass.
Actual villain type shit. But maybe that's exactly what we needed. We needed a bad guy to help galvanize us out of our fucking gaming chairs to sign something. Now, if you watch Ross's video and you listen to how Pirate Software talks, it's pretty clear who the aggressor is, who is the dick.
This is complete garbage. All of this can eat shit then. I dropped the mask entirely. I have no qualms about that.
I thought it was really funny when I posted this. What am I supposed to do for you? Just stop killing games? Would you believe Pirate Software blocked me after this?
Come
So
on.
Pirate has admitted that he has been ignoring this issue and the misinformation he spread for 10 months until he posted one of those "I ain't reading all of that" type tweets. For some reason, he deleted this. Let's read to see if we can find out why.
Yep, he was literally in a conversation with Charlie, with Josh Hayes, even the MMO guy.
I put out 2 videos disagreeing with your initiative 10 months ago and haven't talked about it since. Now, your initiative has failed, and you're blaming me for 33 minutes of the hour-long video covering it. You have no mana left, Accursed Farms. What was I supposed to do for you? Your community is out in force, shitting up our streams and socials with hate messages, threats, and worst of all, snide comments.
Wow.
Dear God, please, no.
Not the snide
no, not
comments.
the snide comments. Anything but that. Waterboard me all you want. Just don't post snide comments. Okay, but like, Pirate, you have unresolved software. You got a bunch of shit wrong, and you misinformed a ton of people on a movement that is beneficial for gamers. So just come out and correct yourself.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll give you an out right now. Say that you became the villain that Gotham needed.
Why is he running, Dad?
Because we have to chase him.
Okay, we're going in. You secretly support this movement, but you wanted to create someone, a persona that could galvanize people to be in opposition to you. This is your out. This is your out. Because if you don't own your mistakes will own you. I do want to point out him saying your initiative has failed, not it's failing or it's in trouble.
That's just outright evil. And this is, by the way, from a supposed game dev who has spent... I shudder at the feeling to comparing him to the likes of Grums, okay? Oh! One of those anti-war grifters, fucking idiot. But who has spent time developing a game that has been fully funded, and was promised to release at least the first part of it done in 2023 and has yet to do anything. Hardbound, which to my knowledge is supposed to be a subpar, I'm sorry for using that, but that's how a lot of people are describing it, a subpar Undertale. And I have not played Undertale, okay? I got the game last week. I would be playing it and basking into the beauty that this game is. But Undertale, from what I remember, because I've been online quite enough, was developed between 2012 and 2015, meaning that he could have spent that much time making a better game, wherein he is not alone, okay? He's but one part of a studio, and the art style and all that, I've seen it looks gorgeous, but from what I know, the game is not functional yet. It's not full-fledged. And even worse, there is his involvement with an actual live service game for working for the company that Ludwig is part of or owns. And he, funnily enough, recently stepped down from it because some people started connecting the dots and thinking that perhaps this is one of the reasons why he was so adverse into accepting this Stop Killing Game initiative. Perhaps because he, in his position as being the guy who has to make the deals and make the company grow, sees this as a threat. Which it is not, but he stepped down from it. And he talked about the games being mass downvoted. Which, again, is a lie. From what I saw, except for now him pointing it out, that might be happening very soon. For what I saw, last I checked it, there were like one or a couple of negative reviews on these games. It's weird. It's very weird that this man is just so compulsive in his lies.
Losing support? There's a lot of ways you could have said that, but you chose the definitive, your initiative has failed. It almost sounds like you want it to, like you're trying to manifest this outcome. Any assumption that Pirate simply disagrees with the Stop Killing Games initiative, we can just uninstall all of that. He maliciously wants it to fail. Yeah. And that is so disappointing, because how does a guy who calls himself Pirate not understand why people want to preserve their games? It's like you can't make this stuff up. The writers for this year's season of Life on Earth, they're outdoing themselves.
Oh, yeah.
This season is fucking crazy. Disagreeing with this initiative is already weird enough for any self-respecting gamer, but to be like so outspoken against it is really sus. It's sussy balls. Pirate software. Look inside. Don't pirate software. Now, some people, myself included, have wondered why he is so steadfast against this. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say definitively that Pirate Software is an industry plant. I'm just saying this is exactly what an industry plant would do and say.
And in his words, this is why he refuses to have a dialogue with the movement.
How dare you even crack a joke about the reality of the legal process in the United Kingdom? What kind of hill is that to die on? Ain't no buried treasure there.
The idea of getting it to pass with an easy win instead of pass because it's good is a problem to me. Absolute problem.
That's not how politics works. Do you think things pass because they're good ideas? Tell that to people who still have lead in their water.
This is just what's so funny about like the double, the triple, the quadruple down, like someone who can't ever admit that they're wrong. This is what's so fucking funny about it, is you just have to keep burying yourself into an even more ridiculous position. You make it so easy to make fun of you. It is hereby my dubious honor to present Pirate Software with the ultimate mark of shame, the Fake Gamer Award. No true gamer would stand against this movement or so wildly, intentionally misrepresent it as he has. Just fucking talk to Ross. It's not hard to have a conversation with people. I just don't get it. But Pirate has truly exposed a major flaw in his own software. And to wrap things up, if you're able to sign the initiative and push this thing forward, please do. Links are in the description and pinned comment. Reach out to anyone you think might also benefit or be interested in this, and make sure you do your part. Go subscribe to Ross at Accursed Farms. He deserves it for everything he's put himself through. And to Pirate Software, just take accountability, man.
Take the
I know
L.
you're going to be overloaded with people saying the same shit, and you're going to want to tune all of it out. But just, if you don't own your mistakes will own you. People want to like you, but sometimes you give them no choice. Don't be the guy campaigning against gamers. Campaign with them.
Oh shit, we're all going to die. We don't accept.
Exactly. That's the message to give, and I hope that he takes that to heart. As hard as that might be for him to acknowledge, he should. He should. But folks, that might be, hopefully, the last time that we get to talk about Pirate Software on this channel. Hopefully that it stays this way, but you let me know. That being said, folks, hope that you like this coverage and got a bit of a refresher here. The initiative should have reached its zenith by the end of the week, at least, right? About 7,000 or so votes are needed, more than this, and we can do that. Anyways, thank you so much, every single one of you, for having participated into this, and those who might have clicked in the link through the last video that I made, you are awesome. And please stay very much informed. I am going to at least try my best to keep you informed with the development of this thing, and yeah, good job. Anyways, wish you all to have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye.